Hey guys, Dr. Katie here. This is Hey Doc. Welcome back to this channel where we create important medical content to help you stay in good health and support you to make the right decision when it comes to your health. So if you like this type of content, if that interests you and tickles your fancy, be sure to click the subscribe button, like, share, and don't forget the notification bell. Let's get straight into today's video. Did you know, according to the World Health Organization, in 2020, there was a whopping 50 million people worldwide living with dementia. And by the year 2050, this number is expected to triple. This obviously means that dementia is a very important medical condition, and that's why we are addressing it in this video, where we will talk about the early signs of dementia. So, first things first, what is dementia? Dementia is a term used to describe a group of symptoms associated with a decline in cognitive function, including memory loss, difficulty communicating, impaired memory, and impaired judgment. This is because certain parts of the brain are shrinking, and the medical term for this shrinking is called atrophy. Here are some early signs of dementia you should never ignore. The first is subtle memory losses that disturb day-to-day function, day-to-day life. Forgetting important dates, birthdays, anniversaries, public holidays, holiday seasons. Also, asking the same questions over and over again, or having to rely on memory aids, or having to write everything down to ensure that you don't forget things. Also, you're struggling to concentrate, be it at work, at home, or whilst driving, or doing any other activity that is considered part of your normal day-to-day life. When these start to happen, the part of the brain that is starting to be affected is called the hippocampus, which is a part of our brain that plays a vital role in our memory. Also sensory difficulties, having reduced hearing, taste, smell, and reduced appetite. Also, difficulties with familiar tasks. You're struggling to organize yourself to do things that were once common and easy for you to do, such as cooking, cleaning, getting dressed, and taking care of your dependents. Changes in your mood and your personality. You start to become easily agitated, irritable, anxious, and even paranoid at times. And you start to display behaviors that are not natural and common for you, such as being aggressive or even sexually disinhibited. There may be a problem with language. For example, forgetting some words. As you're talking through a sentence, you just literally get stuck and you struggle to find the word that is appropriate for what you were saying. Also, using words incorrectly. You may be making a sentence and the words are all over the place, such that the sentence does no longer make sense. And so this leads to having difficulties in maintaining conversations. You're either repeating your words over and over again, or repeating a phrase over and over again, and you struggle to get your point across. Being disorientated with time and place. You start to get lost in places that are familiar to you. You get confused with dates and times, and having trouble understanding the sequence of events. These could be early signs of dementia. Withdrawing from social activities. You become more and more socially isolated. You start not to enjoy the things that you would normally enjoy, your hobbies and being around your friends and your family, and you lack the initiative of doing things. Now, here, it's important to highlight the fact that for people who start to withdraw from social activities, from their friends and their family, and they become more isolated and lack motivation, it's important to rule out depression, particularly in the elderly. It may not necessarily be dementia, but rather the fact that they are depressed. So screen for depression with your doctor and make sure you are not being misdiagnosed. Now that we have gone through early signs of dementia, it's important to note that if you are experiencing one or several of these symptoms, it does not always mean that you have dementia. It may mean that you have another mental health condition. You might be depressed, you might go through anxiety, there might be another issue going on there, or you might lack a particular supplement. There might be a B12 deficiency, there might be other deficiencies that you are going through. So it's important to have a consult with your doctor and ensure that all other causes are ruled out, particularly if you or a loved one is experiencing these symptoms, but you are on the younger end of the spectrum. It doesn't mean that you automatically have dementia, but rather something to be borne in mind after all other causes have been investigated and ruled out. Some things that you can do to reduce your risk of developing dementia early, whilst remembering that dementia is a condition that can be caused by several different factors. However, the things I'm about to discuss, if they are observed, they can help reduce your risk of developing dementia. The first is to reduce your intake of refined carbohydrates. A diet high in refined carbohydrates leads to inflammation and oxidative stress on the cells of the brain, which can contribute to developing Alzheimer's disease. The second is to ensure that all your chronic diseases are well managed and well controlled. For example, in diabetes, which is characterized by insulin resistance, the body cells become less responsive to insulin. And what happens is, as the blood sugar level increases, the body cells become less responsive to insulin. Therefore, the blood sugar levels increase. This causes inflammation of the cells in the brain, leading to the development of cognition impairment. Also, in diabetes, the raised blood sugar leads to glycosylation of the protein in the brain. Glycosylation is a process whereby glucose attaches to the protein in the brain. This protein impairs the function of the cells in the brain, leading to cognitive impairment and dementia. High blood pressure causes damage to the blood vessels in the brain, leading to reduced flow of blood and oxygen to the brain. This damage leads to small strokes in the brain, which causes cognitive impairment and increased risk of developing dementia. High blood pressure can also cause damage to the white matter of the brain, which contain nerve fibers that allow different parts of the brain to communicate with one another. High blood pressure is also associated with chronic inflammation that will happen within the brain cells. Finally, another thing that you can do to prevent yourself from developing dementia early is to increase your intake of omega-3, zinc, and vitamin D. Studies have shown that people who consume omega-3 have a reduced risk of developing dementia. And this is because omega-3 reduces the inflammation and the oxidative stress that goes on in the brain, thereby improving blood flow and promoting the growth of new brain cells. Both vitamin D and zinc play an important role in protecting the cells in the brain from cognitive decline. And this is through reducing inflammation and oxidative stress. There you have it, guys, another video. Thank you for watching. Do you know anyone who's been affected by early dementia? What are some of the subtle signs that you fail to recognize that possibly cause the condition to deteriorate much faster? Are there some things in someone that you know that has developed early dementia that I failed to mention in this video? Please share it in the comment section so we can all learn together and it can be a benefit to all. Thank you for watching once again. If this video has been helpful, beneficial, and interesting to you, ensure that you click the subscribe button, like, share, and don't forget the notification bell. We'll see you in our next video right here on Hey Doc, our health community. Bye.